All right, we're live. Snuffing Torches, Survivor 48, episode 10 recap. Just myself and John Rich right now. Sad episode. I'm glad, Nate Clemmer weren't around, but I'm glad we had you, because I do feel like you were the leader of the Star Hive, the constellation.
Starback.
But very sad episode. Frustrating episode. As much as listen, we like Star. She's funny. She's entertaining. Obviously, she's not the most strategic mastermind of all time, but I actually don't like. I think she's a better player than some other people on the season. She was trying to make a move. Just the most frustrating episode to watch where I haven't been like, I feel like I've seen a lot on Twitter, Reddit, people being like, we hate this season. The majority alliance is just marching to the end. I haven't really felt that way too much. Yeah, David, blindsided last week until tonight. Tonight was when I really started to be like, this is so annoying to watch. They just want to hand Joe and Eva $1 million because they like them. I think I'm officially rooting hard against the Joe Eva duo, specifically Joe. Joe's just annoying me. It's like he's too nice of a guy. He's too good of a guy, and it bothers me. Like, that doesn't make for great Survivor. Mitch, I needed to see more out of tonight. We like Mitch. I know he's a friend of the program. I was so annoyed at Mitch not making a move tonight. The fact that Mitch, Camilla, Star, and Mary didn't all vote together is mind-boggling. I kind of get it a little bit more for Camilla because of she's got this alliance with Kyle, but God,
Kyle should have moved to that side too.
So here's the thing. I think Kyle is far and away the best player on this season. I think strategically, the way he thinks about things, even down to the who he chose for the reward challenge. Although I didn't totally follow his logic there, but we'll talk about that.
Do anything with it.
Right. Well, Joe won immunity, so
yeah.
But the fact that he's thinking on those levels, and he's been able to have the secret Camilla alliance, and he's got himself in with the Power alliance, I think he's hands down the best player of this season, one of the better players of the new era. And I like to think that he is not going to want to sit the final three with Joe and Eva. I know he says he likes Joe and they bond outside of the game, but if he goes to the final three with them, I mean, maybe people will just be so annoyed with Joe and Eva at that point that Kyle could win. But I think if I'm Kyle, you make a move next week with Mitch, rest in peace, with Mitch, Mary, and Camilla.
You got to. Last week was the week that I really turned against Joe and Eva, and I guess Shaheen a little bit too. But that was really more just for petty reasons. I was just getting annoyed with them. Just, I don't know, the whole honesty thing. I was starting to get annoyed that nobody realized what was happening. This was the first week where it was just they had the numbers. And as much as Mitch, I wanted Mitch to make a move. I thought Kyle was just as much being stupid as Mitch was, really, because I mean, if you look at the numbers, obviously Joe and Eva, and I guess Kyle, but aside from Kyle, Joe and Eva, they got the best games going. Shaheen's doing pretty well too. They have that real tight three. Kyle has this kind of secret alliance with Camilla. And then you have these other three people who would probably be willing to do whatever the fuck you told them. And they so easily could have flipped the game on. I mean, Joe won, and Eva does have those two.
But if they blindsided him correctly, she wouldn't have used them.
Just get Shaheen out, or flush one out and then get Shaheen out. It just seemed like an obvious time to make a move, and they had the numbers, and that was killing me. And they were slandering Star, and she was rapping, and it was awesome. But then at the same time, I'm like, they're only letting her rap because she's going, isn't she? So it was bittersweet even watching her rap. That
honestly, once the episode started with her giving that Herb Brooks miracle pump up speech, it was we have not seen Star nearly this much. This is classic food episode. I disagree though that Kyle should have made the move tonight, because Kyle's still at a point where he has nobody that wants him out. I think it's a little bit early to make the move. He would paint a big target on his back, going into Final 7, he would, let's say he blindsided Eva, he would have had Joe and Shaheen against him. I think it's next week. I think next week is the week.
So what if he has Joe and Eva against him?
Well, I mean, I think that you just have more people who are going to be. The more people that you have mad at you and want to vote you out is just bad. But I think next week he makes the move against Joe. I think if you're at Final 7, him, Mitch, Mary, and Camilla have to get together, blindside Joe unless he's safe, and then you try to get to the end with, like, I don't know, Mitch and Mary maybe.
Okay, but out of Joe, Eva, Shaheen, and Kyle, who do you think's on the bottom there?
It's probably Kyle.
So like your numbers are just getting worse the longer you put that. Like this seemed like the time that he had to make it for me.
Well, I agree.
He still might be fine, but like I don't think there was a downside. Like they had the numbers 5-3. I mean, they maybe even could have voted. Oh, that might have been too much. They should have just voted Shaheen. That was so easy to me. Just get Shaheen out of the game.
Or Eva. Like they don't know that she has.
Would have played it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but they don't know she has the safety without power.
Yeah, I can see Eva being a bit of a risk and maybe them not wanting to do it because they know she has one idol. I don't think anybody knows about her second one, but
her alliance, but not the minority.
What was that?
I said her alliance knows about the second one. The minority doesn't. Like the minority alliance.
So I can see.
Which it isn't even a minority alliance. It was 4-4 tonight, which is so crazy.
That's just ridiculous. But like, I still feel like Kyle would have been able to get Mitch over.
I agree that Kyle needs to make a move, and that, you know, on the surface, if he just sticks with Shaheen, Joe, and Eva, like clearly those three were on a tribe together pre-merge. You're probably the fourth there, although him and Joe do have a good bond. So I think Kyle needs to make a move, but I think so much of Survivor just getting the timing right, like the timing of moves. And something Tony always did that worked is he always made bigger moves when there was an odd number of people left. I don't know why, but he always said the way the math works out, sometimes it's just easier because you don't need to get 2 extra people. You know, you don't need 5 versus 3. You need 4 versus 3. So I think for Kyle, next week is the week. And now Eva has the safety without power. Eva can leave tribal next week.
You're saying she can make it.
Eva's like guaranteed if she plays,
right?
She's guaranteed Final 5 if she plays her power, safety without power, and then her idol.
Which I would say she should do, but apparently she's not even at risk a little bit. So maybe she doesn't even fucking need to.
You know what's actually interesting is, let's say with the safety without power advantage, somebody maybe in the chat fact check it, but I'm pretty positive she could use it at Final 7, which would be next week. Let's say Eva wins immunity next week. Could she like give her immunity necklace to Joe and then she leaves tribal, or vice versa?
Yeah, why wouldn't she be able to?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, why not, right?
She can probably give her safety without power to somebody too.
Yeah,
right?
That's probably the easier thing to do.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So
I don't know.
If a great game. I'm not. Joe and Eva are playing fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, that is the thing. But are they playing that fun? Like, I don't know if they're playing phenomenal or everyone else is just playing really bad. Like they're sticking to them. They're doing you can't be mad at Joe and Eva. I'll say that. No. Like it's annoying to watch them dominate so much and not be challenged. Yeah. But that's not their fault. Like, it makes me more mad at other people for not challenging them. I don't think you can be mad at Joe and Eva themselves. Like, they got the numbers and they're sticking to it, which makes sense. And like, even Eva at Tribal is like, yeah, like, you know, it seems like we're all just gonna stick together and vote out like one person after another. Like, how does nobody? Mitch, what are you fucking doing?
Mitch.
And it's not even a secret alliance. They basically like have a jersey they all wear.
Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of that is just credit to them being nice people to like get along with.
Yeah.
Everyone likes them. Like, that's such a big part of the game. It's just they're easy to get along with. Like, people don't really want to screw them over. That goes a long way. But
yeah, I mean, you saw it tonight with Kyle, where it's like
yeah,
Kyle said,
yeah,
or Camilo, so whoever was pitching Joe, and Kyle was like, I don't think I could do that. What?
Wait, let's say that again.
Said Camilla was telling Kyle, like, let's get rid of Joe, and Kyle
Yeah,
was like, I can't do that. Like, there is like Joe's social game is
it's good.
probably the best, one of the best ever.
Because fucking Kyle told him he got arrested. Like that wasn't even.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
Kyle.
it.
I thought Kyle was just like using that to bullshit with him there. But,
No, it
apparently it hit home.
and I get it. He's a likable guy. Like, I don't think you can walk away from Survivor being like, I hate Joe.
No,
but like that almost makes me hate him. Is that he's so likable,
exactly.
and like he's being so. I guess I mean, I respect dominant players, but I usually respect like strategic dominant players more. But he's a true socially dominant player. Like that is what he is, and that's a big part of Survivor. So you can't knock him for that.
Yeah, and I think like I respect or I like Kyle more in this game, and that's just because Kyle has had to face adversity. Joe has faced zero adversity, and that's a credit to Joe. But like when you're watching it, like it's nice to see somebody like overcome a little bit of something, and
Agreed.
Joe just hasn't even like begun to have to do that.
No, Joe has just had it.
Yeah.
Joe just showed up as like this ripped is firefighter, right? Or like jacked firefighter on day one, handsome, big smile, and just everyone's telling him all their deepest, darkest secrets. They're like, we love Joe, and they're voting the way he wants.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, they're doing great. Yeah, it's nothing against them. It was just doing simple math at home. It just felt like there's 3 people running the game. There are 5 people. Well, there's 4 people running the game, 4 other people on the outs. Kyle seemed like that kind of middle guy who should be the one to grab the other people who he would dominate in the end, aside from maybe Camilla. But I mean, Kyle's beating Camilla in a vote at this point.
Agreed.
Like, unless Camilla does something else. It just, I don't know. I'm curious what they think watching that back. I mean, obviously,
oh boy. Hold on. There is a bug crawling on my wall right now. I do not like the look of this. We're gonna kill this live.
Oh, shout out Joe for that bug edit. How about the Joe bug edit?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's honestly a sign. Oh, I do not like this bug. All right, hold on. Let's just put that in there.
Was it a long one?
Long dead. First ever live bug kill on Now I will say it was weird when I was literally sleeping on bamboo in Fiji and a bug crawled on me. It's like whatever. And I do have that mindset, but it's different. Like I expect bugs to crawl on me when I'm laying in the sand. I don't expect bugs to be in my West Village apartment. That's when I draw the line.
But bugs in your West Village apartment seems like the symptom of maybe a bigger problem that you don't want to think about.
What do you mean?
Like you might have more. Like where did that bug?
Oh
come
yeah.
Like you have a corner full of bugs, Tommy. Like you're gonna wake up with a bunch of bugs crawling on.
Let's not talk about it. It's probably the heat or something. All right. Let's go through the I guess somewhat of a recap. I feel like we covered a lot, but beginning, we got the revolution, the possible star revolution. She's talking to Mary, Camilla. They want to go for Joe. I think that somebody tweeted at me and they were like, I can't believe you like Star. Like she's, not a good player. But like, I appreciate Star as a character. I think Star is a great television character. I think she's funny. I think she's personable. And yeah, I mean, she's not fucking Boston Rob, but like, she's not I don't think she's a strategic zero. Like she at least had the sense to be like, hey, the 4 of us on the bottom need to get together.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm afraid, and I hate to say this, but they really didn't like Star. I don't think anybody.
Yeah. I mean, even Mitch like seems like this nice guy. He's telling the pit bull story, the mailman, and then they cut to him, and he's like, he's like telling Star to go to rocks and or to use her shot in the dark, and Mitch is like, yeah, like I'm not listening to Star. Like that's the biggest joke of all. Like. And there were a lot of people like, we got to get Star out of here. She's causing chaos. So maybe there was something to it, but like she's trying to save herself. I get it.
Well, and she was probably the only one who was right. Like, that's what, like, Joe and all them were saying. Like, Star was one who realized, like, hey, by the way, guys, like, we can fucking control this game right now. And maybe she was a little bit annoying or whatever. It seemed like she might have rubbed some people the wrong way just by being a little bit outgoing. No, yeah, just, I don't know, cocky, outgoing, like, whatever you want to call it.
But, yeah, watching her for 90 minutes every week might be different than spending 20 days on an island with her. But we see, like, I feel like she didn't have, like, a bad bone in her body. Like, I feel like Stay this season was, like, bullying people. Like, she was probably the worst social player this season, where, like, she was, like, unpleasant to be around, right? Like, she would, like, bully Mary, argumentative. Like, Star would just seemed like, you know, maybe they got annoyed by her, but, like, she would, like, just pure a good person, I think.
Yeah. And she was just right. And I think that's, like when Eva and Joe were talking about Star, like, that's just because Star was the one who was like, hey, by the way, like, we can get these guys out whenever the fuck we want to. And she wasn't quite, I guess, like, I don't know, just maybe strategic's the word. Like, she just didn't, like, articulate it well enough, I feel like, to the group. Just like, hey, by the way,
she didn't have the
3 people are killing us and we can take over.
She had the strategic plan down. She didn't have, like, the social cachet to pull it off.
She couldn't, she couldn't, like, quite get it across to everyone in a way that I felt like was really fucking obvious, and she shouldn't even have had to get it across to people. But
this is a good point from Nick in the chat. Star gave Eva her idol, and she just voted for no. Like, that I did forget that Star.
I forgot about that too. God damn it.
That was. I bet Star wishes she had that idol now. Like, that was unfortunate.
That freaking Eva.
That was literally, like, that was because Star found that right after the challenge where, like, Eva, like, had the moment with Joe. Like, if Star finds out another time, I don't think she's giving it to Eva. That Star had that idol tonight. It's a whole different ballgame.
And even if Star could have made, like, she could have made some kind of deal, like, right when that happened, like, I'll let you keep that idol if, or
never vote my name.
Like, but it was just nothing. He just kind of let Eva walk all over her there.
Yeah. So we got the potential shot at Joe where, like, Camilla is pitching Kyle on the plan, and Kyle's like, I don't want to do it, but I won't stop you from doing it. And, you know, he's saying that Kyle said, I thought was interesting, where he was like, I don't want to blindside Joe because, one, I'm close to him. Like, we have this emotional bond, and I feel like this jury, like, might vote for emotional bonds over, like, strategy and blindsides. And while that bothers me on the surf, right? Like, I think a lot of Survivor fans are going to get angry with it. Like, that's bullshit. But, like, yeah, like, I might vote for someone who played the best strategic game, right? But you have to know your peers. Like, you have to know the cast you're on. There are juries that they are bitter over, like, strategic moves, and they vote for the people that they bonded with the most. And if you think that that's the cast you're on, which I think this is, like, Joe and Eva, to me, I feel like, would vote for the people they bonded with the most, more so than somebody who blindsided them, maybe. So I get where Kyle's coming from. Like, it's easy to be like, ugh, I hate that. Like, that's dumb. And, like, maybe, you know, I've thought that in the past, but you do have to realize Survivor is a social game too. So I get where Kyle's coming from, as annoying as it may be.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I got much to say on that, but I tend to agree with you there.
Would you vote if you were? Do you think you would vote more for, like, the emotional bond or the strategy player? Like, let's say Joe gets to the end, or Kyle. Somehow it's a final 2, and Kyle made more strategic moves, and Joe is better at, like, bonds. Actually, or take those 2 out. Just pretend person A and person B.
You know what? My gut was to say strategy, but I don't know. I think I actually might lean a little bit toward emotion, or just the person I like more in general. Because a lot of times I think with Survivor, and this is maybe me coming in as, like, a newer person watching it, I think there's, like, so much emphasis put on, like, you know, like, you got to play a good game. You got to play, like, the game the right way. And there's, like, these certain metrics that people use to measure how good of a game you played. And it's almost like they've been, like, predetermined over time. And we've all, like, come to this agreement that, like, this is how you should play Survivor. Like, this is what a good game looks like. And then I sometimes think about, well, like, why isn't somebody who's just sitting in the background and not winning much and managing to fly under the radar and just kind of being like a nice person to go along with? Like, why isn't that a better game of Survivor? You know,
Yeah,
why doesn't that count? Like, why does that count for nothing?
in the
So,
new era, that's happened, I feel like, a few times. Like Erica,
yeah,
40. Like there have been. So no, it's a good point. I think it's a really good point. Like, yeah, it is like there is no real, like, I think that sometimes Survivor isn't baseball. It's not the winner scored more runs,
yeah,
like there's not a clear like definition. It's what can you do over the course of 30 or 26 days that will get a jury of your peers to vote for you to win at the end, to give you $1 million. And I think early on, there was sometimes more social players would win. Then it became more strategic. There's been physical players. It varies. I think that's kind of the beauty of it, is that it could vary season to season, which I think is Kyle's point.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. It obviously depends. I have no idea. Like if I was actually in the game, where I would go. I do think I tend to be more of a person who, like, if I like somebody, I'm probably more likely to go with them. Like if somebody rubs me the wrong way, I'm probably more likely
Right.
to be petty in a situation and just vote for somebody that I like a little bit more.
I mean, that's what happened. Did you watch any Russell Hantz seasons?
No.
Yeah, that's what happened to him. He
Okay.
played like strategically well, idols and stuff, but like he never would win because he was just kind of addicted.
Yeah.
And people
Right.
didn't. He's kind of an extreme example. Like you could do it like a Tony, somebody who does it tastefully, but like it is a balance, and there is, it's about reading the cast you're with and seeing what they'll respect. And I think Kyle might be right that I don't, for example, David. I don't think David is gonna maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think David is gonna respect Joe and like that alliance for blindsiding him. I think he's gonna be like, fuck these people.
Oh, you think? I almost think David is so kind of like what Camilla was saying. Like David thinks he's playing. Like somebody tweeted this earlier. David needs to go play on the challenge. That is the show that David thinks he's playing. Like so, I could kind of see him just respecting Joe because he has the most muscles.
That also is true.
Like at the same time.
Yeah. We had reward challenge going through like sand and stuff. Camilla was struggling. Thought that was kind of funny. Kyle wins the ring toss. He takes Eva, Camilla, Shaheen. He uses they're the hungriest or whatever. And he says this is strategic because he was like, I want Mitch, Star, and Mary to be like mad. I want them to feel isolated so that they will go along with Camilla and make a move on Joe. And I like that strategy, and I like that thinking. But then I don't really understand sending Joe back there with them. That was the one thing I didn't get. I'd like to almost hear Kyle explain. Like, I like, but then why not just send Camilla back to camp with them and let Camilla like rally the troops back at camp? Like, if Kyle's goal is to really make it like our majority, quote unquote, alliance, strong alliance versus the rest, why wouldn't you just take the whole strong alliance on reward and let the four others stew and like bond together and try to take out Joe? So that I like where his head was at, but I feel like the execution I would have done differently.
Yeah, my guess is he was probably trying to like split the difference a bit in a way that wasn't smart. Like maybe that was kind of a gameplay misstep by Kyle, where like he felt like he owed a bit to Camilla. Like he knew she could really use some food. He's been going with her the whole time. He probably thought if I could take, who did he take with him? Shaheen and
Eva,
and Eva, and I don't know. He's probably thought if I can take Shaheen and Eva, that's enough. I'll bring Camilla along with me. But you're right. Like he should have gone that full. He probably just should have gone that full strong tribe if he was really trying to.
Right. And like also Joe is so likable and charming that you put him back at the camp for a few hours with the three people trying to vote him out. He might win him over. And he tried. Like he tried like basically a I love that Mary clocked it though. Like
props to Mary for not falling for it.
Yeah, like, and I that was actually the first time where I really was like, this makes Joe a little bit unlikable when he was like annoyed that he wasn't chosen. It's like, Joe, you just didn't choose Kyle for like, not everything can go
Yeah,
your way this season, Joe. You can't have everything. You don't get one reward. You didn't choose Kyle last week. I think he realized it like
yeah,
quickly. He was like, I know that's ridiculous of me. I'm being paranoid. But for a second, I was like, all right, Joe, let's fucking take it easy.
yeah. No, yeah. When Kyle said that, I really liked where the episode was going, and then I
Yeah.
thought they were about to do something. Like I really did, and then I guess we'll get into this next, but it seemed like as soon as Joe won immunity, it just went out the window.
Yeah, and I feel like Survivor always does a good job of that. Where I know, like, there's people who are like, "Oh, it's got to be fixed." It always looks like the person who's going home wins immunity, but they have so much footage of people talking. Where, like, I'm sure they might have had conversations about getting Shaheen out or something. And if Shaheen wins immunity, then you edit the episode to make it look like Shaheen was the one in trouble. But yeah, it looked like Joe was in trouble, and then that. It was nightmare for me seeing that challenge again because that's the one Clemmer beat me and Meek Fillin when we beat
Oh no!
when we met Jeff Probst. That was the one. I mean,
Wait,
obviously
what,
we did
the stacking the?
stacking the word immunity,
Oh,
yeah, with the rope.
wait. So you did that exact same one?
Yeah, I mean, it was much shorter. It was probably about like in terms of the rope, like it's probably about half the distance we had to walk back and forth, but same exact puzzle, like set immunity.
Okay.
Um,
I liked Kyle's strategy in that more than everyone else's. I guess it turned out to not work. How was your approach? I felt like I would have gone fast and just
so yeah, I started really fast, fell, then I went too slow, and like Clemmer didn't drop at all, which like I think is partly because uh it was shorter. It was shorter distance, and it was like not sand, like we're on like
yeah.
a normal floor. I'm sure it's much harder when you're first of all you're more like tired and hungry, and you're also like on sand in longer distance. My thinking was after the one we did with Clemmer was I should have just gone faster like the whole time. Like I
Yeah.
should have just gone faster. I I wonder though if that would be different if I was on the sand. But
Yeah.
from what I've learned doing that one challenge, if I ever get on Real Survivor, I will go faster than you think you should go.
Yeah. I kind of like that because you end up dropping at the end anyways. Like,
Yeah, I also think taking big
there.
steps there,
Okay. All right.
like holding the rope and taking like big steps because you're probably not gonna. It's all about like the rope not moving. Like I think people take baby steps, but I think if you can get the rope still and you just take a big step forward, that's kind of the move. And then going backwards, you probably are a little more careful.
That
But I
makes
think going there, you could take not fast steps, but big steps. Maybe that's the way to put it is don't physically move fast, but make big steps so that you do move fast. I think would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, I like that. I couldn't believe Joe. I was pissed, Joe, on that. I didn't see that coming. That at a certain point, I thought there was no chance Joe was winning that.
I thought Kyle had it, the flies. I wonder. I mean, it would have. I don't know if Joe definitely would have gone home. Would have definitely made for a better episode. But yeah, Joe wins it. So now the plan's probably gonna fall apart. Oh, I thought the slow mo shots were cool too with the bug. I thought Survivor's done a few cool editing this season that I've liked. So now they're like, all right, so Star pitches Shaheen instead to Mitch, which like again, why not Eva? I don't get like if you're going for Joe and his number one ally is Eva and he wins, why not just pivot to Eva?
Again, is it the idol thing?
It could be that, yeah.
And that was what I kind of thought. Just if you want to be like super safe and just say, let's get one of them out, Shaheen was like a really easy target. I haven't done the full math. Like I don't know if they could have like flushed out the idol and had Shaheen as a backup. Probably not. They probably no. Yeah, I guess it, unless they could have got. Yeah, you're right. Like I don't think that would have worked. But I mean, Eva wouldn't have seen it coming if they could have successfully had the conversations behind her back.
Yeah, I think that would have been great. But yeah, I mean, even Shaheen makes sense. And like Shaheen's another guy I kind of am constantly expecting more out of. Like, I thought he was going to be a lot more of an aggressive player. I mean, again, I get it. Like, I understand if you're in a majority alliance and things just keep going well for that majority alliance and you trust the
Yeah.
people you're with, I understand not wanting to rock the boat. I get it, but it's not going to give you a winning game. I mean, maybe it's, perception versus reality. We're watching the show and we're like, oh, it's Joe and Eva. It's Joe and Eva. For all we know, 10 months ago when they were out there filming, Shaheen in his head is like, I'm the one in charge. Like, if I get to the end, I win. So it's hard to tell, but I expect more out of him. But when Star goes to Mitch and is like, no, Mitch is like, no, you should play your shot in the dark. Like, I'm not voting for Shaheen. I don't get it. And so Mitch's defense was like, listen, I know everybody's watching on TV being like, Mitch, make your move. Mitch, make your move. But I don't trust Star or Mary, and I don't want to work with people I don't trust. But I would rather take a risk with people and work with people I don't trust than just like agree to be fifth and sixth. Like that's what like what is Mitch's end game?
Yeah, it's people you can't trust, which I don't even think makes sense, but obviously he's there, he knows more than I do. But it's people you can't trust versus people you can't beat.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a great way to put it. I'd rather be with the people
what you're choosing.
Yeah, like literally being like, and the way that you're trusting the other people is you're just trusting them that you're going to finish in fifth or sixth place. Like they are more or less telling you like, they're like, yeah, like Mitch and Camilla, you guys can be 5 and 6. And like Mitch is like, oh, that's pretty trustworthy. Like I'm going to go with them. I'm going to come in fifth. I'm going to come in fifth or sixth. Whereas like, I don't even think he needs to fucking trust Star and Camilla and Mary. Like, why do you
just need one vote?
And also, like this late in the game, as crazy as it sounds, it's more just like you don't really need a group that you definitely trust. Like, all right, you don't fucking trust them. Who cares? Like, though that they're gonna all agree to vote out Shaheen and then Joe and then Eva. Like, you're gonna trust each other just out of necessity. Maybe you haven't fucking built bonds over 3 weeks, but you're now at a point where it doesn't matter if you trust each other, but you need each other.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously the alliances do matter at this point, but I feel like it should be less about that and just more about who is the biggest threat. Can we get a group of people to get them out?
Agreed.
And that seemed like there was a really easy way to do that tonight.
Yeah. I mean, well, it wouldn't have been easy because it would have had to still be 4-4 with rocks. But
you don't think Kyle would have turned?
He might have.
Yeah, I'm kind of throwing Kyle into Mitch's bucket too when I'm talking. That like Kyle should have been with them too.
But to me, the difference is Kyle is actually with the strong alliance. Mitch is not.
Yeah.
Like they're blatantly saying like it's us four, and that includes Kyle. They're blatantly telling Mitch like you're fifth or sixth.
But with Camilla on the other alliance, like isn't Kyle with Camilla over them? Maybe.
Is what?
Like with Camilla in the other 4, I feel like Kyle is with Camilla above Joe.
So that is the thing too. It's like they have this secret alliance, but like eventually it's going to have to matter. I mean, I know it mattered when they played the Idol, but like eventually if Kyle never flips to Camilla as a secret ally, then what was the point? Which I think he will. I actually think next week it just has to be Kyle, Mary, Camilla, and Mitch getting together. Like that's the only way this season gets saved.
Yeah, and I guess if that's the plan, then what they did tonight is fine, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, I think they could have just used another number. Like, why not just do it now? But
I think it's more just like get rid of another part. Like delay I think the closer to the end you make a big move like that, the better, because you're going to put a target on your back and it's less time for things to go wrong.
And I can only imagine, just to like cut them slack or give them credit, I can only imagine in that situation, like it's got to be so hard to not just vote out the easy person. Like when they're all sitting there and it's like, well, we can go to bed safe at night if it's between Mary and Star. Like that's probably so hard to not just do.
For sure. I mean, it's the Sandra like won twice with the as long as it ain't me approach. Like there is the element of you want moves on your resume, but there's also the element of sometimes it's easier to just be like, I don't want to keep going, and maybe tomorrow fucking someone gets medevaced or I find an eye or like something happens that switches the game in your favor. So that is another
a million things can happen like tomorrow that changes everything. So just stay alive.
Right. Well, and I think that is a fair strategy too. So I don't know. I get it more from Camilla. Camilla, I at first I was like, it literally makes no sense that Mitch, Camilla, Mary, and Star didn't all vote together. And I still kind of think that all four of them need to have voted together. But Camilla, I do understand, has in her back pocket, like, I have the secret alliance with Kyle. I could use that to my advantage at some point. But then once Star and Mary turned on each other, you knew it was over.
Yeah.
Star and Mary. And like they kind of had no other choice because Mitch and Camilla weren't really going to vote with them. So it was like, well, if it's not me, if it's not you, it's me or whatever. So we got to go at each other's throats. But yeah, I wish we saw a move get made tonight, but I feel like it'll come next week.
Yeah, it probably will. I wish Star would have played her. I guess we'll get there too. The shot in the dark.
Yeah, so Tribal. We had Star rapping. That was incredible. Star, maybe one of the best lines of the new era when she was like at Tribal. She was like, Mitch told me to use my shot in the dark, and no offense, but he didn't stutter. That was a great line by Star.
I think I missed that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was incredible. She's like, yeah, and he didn't stutter.
Oh, man. Oh, hell yeah, Star. Good stuff.
I thought David looked like handsome Squidward. Saw some tweets saying that. He had a look of like a 1970s stuntman. Like he looks like he should have been like who Brad Pitt played in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He had just real
handsome Squidward is a pretty good one.
Yeah. And then exactly. I mean, they end up kind of splitting the vote. I guess the thinking was that in case Star and Mary vote together for, let's say, Eva, and one of them plays the shot in the dark and gets it. So it made sense the way they split it. They did 5 votes on Star, 3 votes on Mary. What I don't understand is why the hell neither of them played their shot in the dark. Like Star, you could say, oh, especially Star because she got voted out, but they didn't really know which one of them it was getting voted out. I think it's crazy because you're probably not going to need your vote. Like it's not like it's going to be a one deciding vote. There's a big majority deciding it. Yeah. I love Star, but I mean that was another flaw. Oh, Mary didn't. Oh, that's right. Mary already used her shot in the dark. So yeah, then Star not using hers is inexcusable. I mean, listen, I don't want to criticize the queen, but it makes genuinely no sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she thought might happen. Like, well, were there 2 people that? I mean, I guess she must have thought there were 2 people that were going to vote for Mary that she had a wrong read on. I don't know who they would have been.
I guess. Oh yeah, how could I forget Mary used the shot in the dark? That was the crazy Tribal with all the ties and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Star honestly was just hoping like, oh, it's going to be Mary instead of me. That's the only thing that makes sense. Or I almost think she didn't want to use it out of like a weird principle.
She was standing on business.
Yeah, I literally think Star was like, I don't like this twist, Jeff. I'm standing on business. I don't like that Mitch told me to use it. I'm not using it. Like, I'm not kidding. I think it was genuine, like, stubbornness.
Look, Star went out, but if she would have used this shot in the dark, she would have been standing off business. So I can't fault her for that.
No, I get it. All right, let's do, I guess, Jib Cut of the week.
Yeah, I was gonna see if there are any other notes I had.
Yeah.
Here's
one thing. Questions in the chat or comments in the chat, throw them in there. We'll pull them up.
I got one thing from earlier when Eva. I thought the conversation between Eva and Mary was interesting.
Early, very beginning.
Like I thought that was about the most honest I've ever seen a Survivor player be to another Survivor player about like, look, I'm probably going to vote for you. I might. I don't even really.
Well, I think that like goes.
What was her even? What was her? I forget what her conclusion even was.
I don't think that goes to like I'm not just saying this.
I might write your name down, but I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, and I'm not just saying this like I'm not saying this as a joke. Like I genuinely think that's like Eva's autism. Like she said that. She's
Yeah,
like, I
right.
can't lie to people. Like I don't know when people are lying to me. I can't lie to people. And like that was like a concrete example of that. Like she's like, Mary, I like you a lot. Like I'm gonna try to make sure it's not you. And like I won't like use my idol to fuck you over. But we kind of think that you were the person that got in David's ear. And
Yeah.
was it Eva that said that to him, or did somebody else say that to her? No, I think it was
I,
Eva.
I forget exactly what was said in that conversation. I thought I had a quote now, but I guess I don't. But yeah, well, it's because Mary asked Eva if she'd play her idol on her, which I thought was a crazy question. But
Oh,
I guess
I maybe I
that.
misheard. I thought it was Eva being like, "I would never play my idol to fuck you over." Maybe I misunderstood. It was a weird conversation.
I thought Mary asked Eva, so there's no chance you'd play and like you wouldn't play an idol on me, and Eva was like, no, like I'm not gonna do that.
Oh
Which it
yeah,
was
she's
just a
already.
very honest conversation. It was a very honest conversation that I
Yeah,
thought was kind of fun for
you
Survivor.
don't see much on Survivor. And the
No,
chat was saying, yeah, it was Joe that said to Mary like you were the head of the snake that got in David's ear. Um, yeah, strange conversation. But I thought Mary was gonna like kind of be mad about it, but no.
well, I thought Eva also at the end of that conversation gave her real good advice. She said your best chance is to just lay low and be a number, which I think is
Yeah.
exactly kind of what Mary needed to hear because Mary's trying to do stuff a little bit. And unfortunately, I don't really. I mean, I guess she can now a little bit that they've got the numbers. I don't know if she's going to be the one to like be the ringleader of it, but maybe that wasn't the worst advice. I mean, Mary probably can go a long way just being a number. Now I say that out loud. I think that's kind of going against what I was saying about him earlier, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't
she
know.
can't
I
win
definitely
unless she
think,
makes a move.
yeah, yeah. I guess that's true. I guess that's true. So it was good advice for Eva, but I
Yeah,
also do think at the same time Mary is going to like kind of like talk herself out of the game.
for sure. I mean, again,
Like,
it's her only hope is next week Kyle switching to her side and the four of them
yeah,
voting together. That changes the whole game. Then Mary can actually get to the end. And hell, maybe win.
yeah,
Like if she somehow ends in the end with Mitch and Camilla, I think she's got a shot to win. I think Camilla would deserve to win that, but you never know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I guess.
Jip cut of the week. I mean, I think we have to. I'm gonna, for old time's sake, I'll give it the star for rapping. How could you? How could you not give it from start to finish the most screen time we've seen of Star this season? The stuttering line at
Mm-hmm.
Tribal Council, even rapping in her exit interview when she gets voted out. I know it's like we can't give it to her every week. In honor of her last week, I'm giving it to Star.
Yeah, the Star Toomey inaugural jib cut of the week goes to Star Toomey.
Yeah. And then winner. I mean, it's hard. Winners and zeros. I still think.
Who's a good
I think.
zero?
I mean, Mitch isn't going to win. Mary's not
Mm,
going to win.
I'm not ready to go 100% no on Mitch yet.
Oh, I
I
think
should.
Mitch is first. I would put Mitch seventh in the rankings of like likeliness to win.
The thing is, but if they flip the game on its head and can get, I mean, this is a long shot. If they can blindside Eva next week, and then they put Joe on the ropes, knock Joe or Shaheen out. But then there's still Kyle. I'm
There's
just
no
doing the
chance.
math in
No
my head
matter who
now.
he goes to
Maybe
the
that's
end
still
with,
Kyle.
like if like the three goats, and I don't necessarily think they're complete goats, but like whatever, the three people who aren't in the majority alliance, if it's Mary, Mitch, and Camilla at final three, then yeah, maybe Mitch could get a couple, but I think that Camilla would win that. I don't think Mitch has any path to winning.
Yeah, I think it's between Mitch and Mary for zero.
Yeah, and then
I
I
think
still
I like Mitch's chances over Mary.
my gut also just tells me Eva doesn't win. I don't know why. I don't think she's gonna win. I think it's like she's gonna be a great story, go far. I think it's Kyle, Joe, or Camilla that win.
But
If I was ranking right now, I'd go Kyle 1. I guess Joe 2 if it's just like a dominant start to finish game. Camilla 3, Shaheen 4, Eva 5, Mary 6, and Mitch 7.
but with Eva, I think Eva has already done enough in the game that she could win a vote in tribal.
Oh, definitely. I just don't think she's gonna guess.
So,
Like again,
and she's got 2 idols.
if she like also like does a
She's
cool
already
move, if she does a good move with her like her last idol or her thing, like yeah, that could be. I mean, obviously she's got a great story. I think if she gets to the end, she probably is the favorite to win. But again, this isn't based on gameplay. It's more just like a gut feeling. I don't think she's the winner.
How many more tribals will she need to survive if, like, say she uses her idols the next 2 times? How many people do we got left?
You would
Is it
only
7?
then you're down to 5, and then at 5 you just have to survive one tribal, because at 4 you have, either you win the challenge or maybe making fire.
So if she'll probably survive next week without using anything.
Well, she should use the safety without power because it expires after next week. So it makes no sense for her to not.
Have to use it next week.
Yeah, like she should use that next week, or if she wins immunity, she gives it to someone. So she should be guaranteed final 6 no matter what. And then she's got an idol that she can use at final 6 or final 5. So she could, if she wins an immunity,
that makes it tough for her because she'll use the safety without power next week. They all know she has an idol. That next week is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Like
it, I
the
what
next
I would
2 weeks, really.
I think what I really want to see is a Joe versus Eva fire making challenge, and Joe beats her.
Oh, that'd be good.
That I think is like, that is what Survivor is, where Joe has been her guy this season, her rock this season, helped her when she needed help in the challenge, like was there for her. But then like when it really comes down to it, game for $1 million, Joe's playing for his family, like he's not gonna just let her beat him, right? Like he has to go against her. That would probably surpass Tony versus Sarah as like the greatest fire making one ever.
That would be good. I'm curious how they are at fire making. We haven't seen any of that yet. But
yeah, I have no idea who's good, who's not.
Is Joe a firefighter?
I thought he was.
He is, right? I thought, but so was Chris. Unless I'm confused.
Survivor. Is Joe Hunter's name? Yeah, fire captain.
Fire captain. Okay. So
he also, I don't know if you've seen, but he has a story where he's playing for his, and because this is serious, so chat fact check me if I'm wrong, but his sister died from like domestic violence, and he wears a bracelet for her, and it was like, I'm playing this game for her. His sister was a big fan of the show, so it just makes you like Joe even more. And also, like, if he gets to the end, gets the final tribal, like he's got that great story too. And like, that's another thing where, him versus Eva, he's thinking about, well, I want to win for my sister, I want to win for my family, like I'm not going to give up the game. So I just think from like a storyline and like emotional human standpoint, a Joe versus Eva fire making is
good. But then also think about a vote between Kyle, Joe, and Eva.
I think Kyle would win. I don't know.
Maybe, or yeah, because maybe the Joe and Eva votes get split a bit. If that makes sense, like
I was kind of thinking the same. I think there might be people who are like people that might have just been mad at like the power duo and like respected Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh wait, whoa. So we didn't mention this last week, we didn't get a chance to mention it because we haven't had an episode since last week. But in David's exit interview with Dalton Ross or Mike Bloom, one of them, both great guys. I talked to them in Fiji, but David said his girlfriend did dump him when She found out that he lost. I didn't know that he's dating another Survivor player. I didn't see that. Who's he dating? Anyone in the chat?
Good for Dave.
Like someone from this season or a past?
Like someone from this season?
I don't know. This is what we need the chat for here.
This season would be something.
I saw something
this
like his
season
girlfriend Mary. I mean, Kyle kind of said it last
Allie,
week.
I know. I think I know Allie.
David is dating.
What's up?
David is dating Sue.
An old
Steve. Allie said. Do we don't know who though? That's not public. I'd love to know who. Season 41. Are people just making shit up now?
Now I gotta look this up.
I've heard new era early season. Why doesn't he just say? Why don't they just say who it is? Why is it like they're making it like a big secret?
Survivor Legend says season 48. David Kinney is dating a former player, Jerry Manthe. Revealed on
Whoa,
Rob.
What? No.
That's what parade.com right here.
Jerry Mantini? No chance. Manthe, she's a legend. There's no way it's her.
I'll send. I can send you. I'll send you
me
right now.
People are saying no in the chat. There's no way it's Jerry. This is how a rumor gets started.
I'm literally looking at an article. I'm not making this up. I didn't just pull that. I don't even know that name. I'm not going to pull that name out. I'm sending it to you on Twitter.
Jerry's the one that told Rob that.
Oh, fuck.
Wait, send me the thing.
Sorry. No, okay. I think you're right. Fuck, my bad. The name was in the headline.
Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. People are saying Sarah Wilson. I barely remember this girl.
I just DM'd it.
Oh, she was voted out. Was she voted out first or like super early? I do remember thinking like she's probably the prettiest of the bunch. Early.
Why the fuck does Jerry know this?
She's yeah, she came in 17th of 18th, Sarah Wilson. Hey, good for her. Landed a hunk like David.
Landed a completely broke-ass hunk like David. Sorry, that was rude, David.
Hey, no, that's fair. All right. We got anything else? Now that we've cleared up the rumor that David is not dating Jerry Manthe.
My bad, guys. My bad. I was looking at my notes. I said this earlier. When Star started rapping, I knew that was over for her.
Yeah,
that was a sad moment. It sucks that my mind thinks that way, that I couldn't just appreciate Star rapping, because I knew as soon as that was happening, it was done. Oh, and one more thing about Star. I liked her title every time she showed up was sales expert.
Yeah. I like to imagine they like pushed her for like an exact title, and she's like, just expert's fine.
Expert, yeah. Oh, I tweeted this earlier. I was really trying to find, I think maybe if I looked harder, I could. I was trying to find Star Toomey basketball highlights because she played in college. Oh. And all I could find were a couple interviews, like preseason interviews. There's an electric interview, I tweeted this, of Star Toomey answering, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Wow, where can you pull that up and play it? Or drop it in the chat drop it in the chat for the people.
I'll drop it. Yeah, okay. I'll drop it in the chat for the people here.
Or just go to John Rich's Twitter.
Wait, hold on. Let me play it on my phone. I can just play it right. You guys can see it. I'm not. I think she was maybe a little bit confused by the question or by her own answer.
Dog is a sandwich.
1 second.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? A hot dog is a sandwich. Why? Because you have sometimes, depending on how you eat it, some people eat it, you know, what do you call it, vertical or horizontal? But you can't eat it vertical like a hamburger. That's why it's a sandwich.
Jalen Milroe
absolutely brilliant. I don't know what the fuck.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I think she got confused. I think she said a hot dog was a sandwich, but then explained why it wasn't a sandwich.
Okay,
so
that's kind of how I took it as well.
I think she got a little mixed up, but still, she was thinking. The wheels were turning.
Yeah. I
Because
don't
she said
quite
you
understand.
can't eat it vertical. I'll put it in the chat here real quick.
But can you eat a sandwich vertical?
Well, no, a sandwich is a circle, so you can't really do that vertical or horizontal.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, you know.
Look, no, she's definitely right.
Yeah, whatever she said is right.
I gotta connect to YouTube to get the chat.
Oh, forget it. Just go to John Rich's Twitter.
No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Anyway, anything else?
No, that's all I got. So only 3 episodes left. Might have a couple. Gonna try to get maybe a couple. I think we have Sam from last season on in 2 weeks. I think he said he's coming on May 14th. May talk to Soul again. Fuck, I keep always mess up his name. Soul again for next week. And yeah, I think that's it. Like, subscribe, all that jazz.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's all I got too. Later.